Naruto, or Naruto, however you say it, doesn't matter, because it's the best anime of all time. Better than L Attack on L Titan, or Leech. Get Bleach, but Leech because it's L, or Attack on Titan, but it's L Attack on L Titan because it's an L anime. Yeah, man. Over 500 episodes filled with beautiful lore and insane fight scenes, and some of the best dialogue no jutsu ever written, ever. The anime and manga has been enjoyed by millions all over the world. The manga alone sold over 250 copies. 250. Who's doing these numbers? Nobody. The anime was a complete global phenomenon. It's been translated into dozens of languages and has been broadcasted in over 80 countries. From Japan to the US, Naruto didn't just create fans, it created a culture. I don't know if you can tell, but it's a personal favourite of mine. But watching it made me wonder what type of person truly recognises this great storytelling. And because I'm a natural born genius, a prodigy, somewhat like Itachi Uchiha, so I've been told, but many of my peers, I've cracked the code. So here's 3 types of people who watch Naruto. Congratulations, you're just like me, you're a day one. You probably started watching Naruto in the early 2000s when it was first being dubbed in other countries. In the UK, it was on a channel called Jetix in 2006. That's where I first locked in. And in 2005, it was being aired on Cartoon Network in the US. You can say I'm wrong, you can say I'm a liar, but I think I'm telling the truth. Back then, anime wasn't mainstream. At least to the younger generation. I mean, we had Dragon Ball, but we didn't think, oh, this is an anime. We still thought it was a cartoon. We didn't really have the internet telling us what is and what isn't, you know? We just said, hey, this show's on here and it's fire. So naturally, at first glance, you probably thought Naruto was another cartoon. Just like Ed, Edd and Eddy, or Robot Boy. Real ones know. Salute the big dogs. Shout out my boy Ed, and Eddie. But even with your little kid brain, you clocked, wait, no, something's different here. This isn't just the average cartoon. Naruto had a progressive storyline. We was introduced to the Nine Tails right off the bat, the Hokage, the village, elite world building. There was real lore to digest compared to the other shows which was just junk and a new storyline every episode. Just to name one arc that really opened my eyes, the tuning exam arc. When Orochimaru showed up with his freaked out self, being obsessed with Sasuke, a 12-year-old, disguising himself in a woman's body, I think he was literally stealing faces and doing the most cursed tongue tricks in TV history. It was utter nightmare fuel. But then Sasuke just started throwing hands with him. Different. And Sasuke was shook at first, like this guy had to stab himself in the leg to get himself to move because he was actually petrified of Orochimaru. Imagine me used to Ed, Edd and Eddy, Lizzie McGuire, That's So Raven, Fillmore, many more to name, CBBC, seeing a youth stab himself because this snake looking Michael Jackson scary guy was onto him. It was a whole different world. Then you had Naruto, or Naruto, whatever you want to call him, learning about the demon fox power inside of him, finally realizing why everyone frowns upon him and looks down on him in the village, why he was so lonely. It was pulling on my heartstrings. But every time he accessed that power, I can't lie, little 5-year-old me was gassed. I was saying, yo, it's about to go left. These people aren't ready. This show was making me think I had a demon inside of me. I was just waiting for someone to try me so I can unleash my real power. This show had me practicing jutsus in my room. Even to this day, sometimes I try to make a shadow clone, you know, just in case on the off chance it might work. It hasn't yet. But to all my day ones out there, the type of person you are is loyal. You found an anime in the early 2000s and you watched it 10 years plus into the future until it finished, which I'm pretty sure was around like 2014, 2016. You are a loyalist. When you start something, you finish it. Watching the show wasn't just a hobby anymore. It's part of your DNA. You've grown up with the show. You've took the core fundamental lessons and attributed it to your life. You're him. You probably think you're the Hokage, and you know what? Who's gonna tell you you're not? The bingers. You probably discovered Naruto late, right? Am I right? Maybe you caught a random episode when you was a kid, thought it was trash. But skip forward to the future, you locked in. You saw it on Netflix and said, you know what? Give me 1 week. I'm finishing everything. Or if you was a real one, you was watching it on the dodgy websites, you know. Everybody knows about that one website that was dedicated to Shippuden that closed down. Everybody knows. You were the type of person that said, fine, let me see what all the hype's really about. And then you were stuck. You were stuck in Genjutsu. You were watching episodes over and over and over again, saying, hey yo, what's going on? I'm talking generational numbers. You were doing 10 episodes per night. Guilty pleasure. But we'll let you off. Because you realized deep down, Naruto wasn't just some cartoon. It was peak storytelling. Life lessons were being learned. The pain of Gaara. The tragedy of Itachi. The grind of Rock Lee. Stay youthful. It all hits differently when you're finally old enough to understand it. And what this all says about you is you have patience. You're a patient person. You'll grind through the long stuff just to see the payoff. You value the journey, not just the destination. Ah yes, the new gens. Let me guess, you saw an AMV, you saw a TikTok edit, you saw a cool fight scene clip, and you end up watching 6 more parts on TikTok. I know who you are. And you know what? I'm not about shaming people, because it's not how you found it, it's not when you found it, it's the fact that you found it and you recognize peak. Okay? You might be 12 or 13, but hey, you've got the whole world in front of you, and you probably haven't even finished the show yet, and you're on YouTube watching videos about it. So you're a man of taste, or a woman of taste, and you're welcome here anytime. But more time, these are the people that got into Naruto after it ended, and there's no shame in that. We all have at least one friend saying, bruh, you gotta watch it, bruh. You gotta watch it. You know, Pain's speech. There's no love about hate. It's just impossible. Trying to drop bombs on us like we ain't the guy. Like we ain't the child of prophecy and we're gonna change the world. You started from the outside looking in and you finally gave it a shot. You realize, oh wait, this thing actually deserves the hype. I'm locking in. You're the person that got to enjoy it all in one go. You wasn't waiting for filler episodes. You just said, boom, I'm in it, beginning to end. You might have skipped straight to Shippuden, and I don't blame you. Actually, wait, no, I do blame you. You're missing out on peak. If you skip the first part of Naruto, go back right now. Watch that. That is like, you know what, there's low-key aspects in there that are better than Shippuden. Like a lot more of the Kohana 11, you know, they get way more screen time. We're talking Rock Lee, we're talking Neji, even 10-10. 10-10 get a little bit of screen time. Big up 10-10. But what it says about you is you're adaptable. You don't care when something came out. If it's fire, it's fire. You've got that late bloomer energy, and that's okay, you know? There's nothing wrong with being late to the party. You still got there. You do things at your own pace, but you turn up just as hard as the day ones. So whether you were a day one, glued to Cartoon Network, or a binge watcher grinding through 500 plus episodes in a month, or a new gen convert who pulled up after the hype, if you love Naruto, you recognize peak storytelling. It's not about ninjas throwing hands, even though that is elite. It's about loyalty, pain, friendship, betrayal, and above all, chasing your dreams, never backing down, staying true to your word, standing for something, and putting everything into it. All the real life stuff we deal with, just wrapped up in a shinobi headband. And honestly, that says more about you than the show. Because if you can appreciate Naruto, you're probably the type of person that can appreciate story, depth, and art, not just surface level entertainment. That's your ninja way. Thanks again for joining another yap session here on Dontae Report. If you want to be Ambu certified, you want to show you got 10-10 jutsus. Come on, like and subscribe.